Alright, this is part 2 of how I keep vinyl clean. When I left you off where I had dusted the record, so now all the dust is off the top and bottom of the record. Then my first step, people like to change orders. I like to do steam first, then super deep cleaner, and then rinse. I figure the steam breaks up everything, and then the cleaner really gets it clean, and then you have to rinse. The rinse is amazingly important. So here I'll go with the steam. I keep my towel here because the only downside of the design here is the spinning wheel that you handle to spin the record leaves, about 1/8 of an inch of the label, so that label gets pretty wet. I've never had any permanent damage from the label being wet, but I take my microfiber towel, which I shake off to get the dust off so it doesn't accidentally get on the grooves, and I'll wipe the outside. And it'll stay wet, it'll stay soaked, but no permanent damage, it'll just evaporate. So I'm going to take my steamer, I hit the outside rim, I'm going to go all the way in. I like to focus on the runout grooves, then I'll come all the way back out. Alright? Come back out. You can almost see the record getting hot. And I'll hit the rim. Alright. This is all wet, so I'll dry that off. Then I'll take my towel and get the label. Alright. I will flip the record. And now I'll do a couple spins. It doesn't have to be perfectly dry quite yet, so I'll do a couple real quick. I'll go forward and then back around. That's fine. And now I'll do the other side with the steam. A lot of people probably think I hold the steamer too close to the record, but I've never had any damage from my records. I just want to make sure that the record gets hot and that crud gets busted up. So now I'll hit it with the towel, get the label all dry, flip it over, and you can tell that this side of the record is already much shinier and cleaner. So I'm going to vacuum the other side that's wet. That's my dog Silk. His name is Silky. He can catch a frisbee pretty well. I have another video on YouTube of me bombing like a frisbee 80 yards. He's a nice little dog. Alright, and so now we will use the Mobile Fidelity Super Deep Cleaner. They say to use 8 to 10 drops. I do a little bit more, especially when I'm first starting, my records aren't soaked. I start at the runout groove, spin the record, letting drops out to the rim. Just so that I cover the whole brush when I go across it, you'll see. Alright, that'll be fine. I take my Mobile Fidelity brush, which has got some water on it because I hit it earlier with the steamer. I'll start somewhere and go around so that the drops of cleaner touch the whole brush. And now I will go back and forth with the grooves while I'm spinning. Make sure to hit the runout groove, make sure to hit the rim. This brush does not cover the whole record, so you gotta go back and forth. I'll spin backwards while holding it steady. And then I'll go a little vigorously around the record. I like to use enough cleaner so that I can see it bead up. I just want to make sure that everything is getting clean, so I use a lot of cleaner on there. And that's good. Now, here's a step where I avoid using the super wash. All I do is I take my steamer and I hit it really quick again, so it's putting pure pure water back in mixed with the cleaner that's already on there, and it's heating it up, which I figured busts stuff up. So I'm going to hit it really quick. And that's just to get it wet. And I'll take my Nitty Gritty brush, go around, spread it out real nice. And so now there's even more fluid on the record. Go backwards a couple times, and now I'm scrubbing. I kind of roll. This is a nice rounded brush, so I kind of roll it back and forth in like a 1 to 2 inch span. I focus on the run out groove. I love this brush because it does touch rim to label. So I just go back and forth a couple times till it's maybe drying out a little bit. Alright, and then it's not that wet, so I just leave the label on that one. I just want to soak up that cleaner as quick as I can. So now I'll go around a few more times. The cleaner needs a little bit more serious of a vacuum than the initial steam step did. That'll do it. Now I hit this side. Starting at the run-out groove, spinning the record, drops across the record, whole fidelity brush, so that drops are touching every part of the brush. I'll scrub for the sake of time. I'll go quick. I'll go back and forth. Spin it backwards now. Alright. One quick around. Take my steam, add water to it, heat it up a little bit. Nitty Gritty brush. And maybe you think that this takes a long time. I usually do, I've figured out little ways to make it quicker than I'm actually doing it right now. But for the sake of not speaking over the vacuum and the steamer the whole time, this works fine. It takes me about 4 minutes to do a record. Alright, and so now I will flip that over and vacuum that off. Now the oh so important rinse. I take my rinse brush, it's a flat, just cheap velvet brush. I'll hit it with the pure water, and then I will do 1 bead of pure water around the around the record. I cap the pure water so that no contaminants get in. And I just go around the record. I use a lot of water so it pools up real nice. I'll go backwards around once, and then I'll go back and forth until I can see it kind of evaporating, water spilling off the side of the record. Doesn't hurt anything. Alright, and there's no water on the label, so I flip it real quick, back on, and on the rinse I do vacuum it really well. Normally I would be rinsing this side right now while I'm vacuuming, but for the sake of time, I will rinse this side now. 1 bead. And I like this bottle. It comes with the spout. It's so much easier than any other options that I looked at, like, amber glass bottles, things that won't let the sun in. You get one of these bottles, it's $2, and the water stays good as long, you use it before the water would go bad. You can get type 1, like laboratory quality water, on the internet for, what, $20, $50 a gallon. Then you have to store it and everything. It's just a pain. So I love this $2 Whole Foods water. The brand is Rain Fresh. Tap the water. I'm going to vac that other side. Another use for my microfiber towel. You'll find that there's some water droplets around the rim of the record. Microfiber will not hurt the grooves of the record. Just make sure it's clean of dust. Shake it off a little bit. Again, it's how picky you want to get. This works for me perfect. I mean, it's absolutely perfect.